Hello, all of my imaginary friends out there. I am making a second video in my series of deep thoughts in the garden. The topic I am doing today is one that I knew when I made the first video would be my second video topic, and it's taken me longer because I fell down numerous rabbit holes in my research learning about. They're very interesting topics, and so they're kind of like subtopics of the same one. So what I think I'm going to try and do is record multiple videos today. Everybody is gone. It's a little easier right now than when everybody's at home. And then I'll edit them throughout the week and post them, you know, periodically throughout the week. So I hope you all enjoy them. Please interact with me. Let me know what you think about these topics in the comments. Let me know if you have any experience with this. I'm very, very interested in all of these things. My mind goes a little crazy in thinking on these topics, and so I would love to hear your opinions and your thoughts. So be sure to take advantage of the comments and let me know what you're thinking. I would love to start some discussions about this. It's great way to interact with my imaginary friends out there. So my deep thought in the garden topic today is on playing music or talking to your plants. Now this is by no means a new concept. I believe that it has been researched for almost a century, and there's so many different studies that have been done on this. Now when it comes to plants, there are so many variables that it is hard to make definitive answers on things. You've got soil, you've got temperature, you've got seeds, you've got water, you've got all these different variables that affect plants, that we know affect plants. So it's a little hard to break these down and learn for sure what is really working and what's not working. And a lot of these studies that I've read, they kind of contradict each other, so it's really hard to know for sure what's really going on. My great grandmother was Native American Cherokee. She was born in the late 1800s and passed away in the early 1970s. Now, I have heard from my mother and my grandmother that she talked to her plants. She talked to her plants regularly. And they told me that she believed this really helped her plants. Now, way back when I first started doing videos, I did a video on basil. And I will link that somewhere, if not put it in the description or something, so that you guys can easily find that if you would like to watch it. But I remember in doing the research for the basil video that one of the myths and lore about basil is that if you curse at basil, it'll grow better. And you know, that kind of plays into these things. Now, I watched a pretty extensive experiment done by Mythbusters, and they took multiple different greenhouses and put them on the roof of a building, and they had recorded a person speaking nicely over and over, saying nice, kind things. Then they recorded someone speaking harshly over and over, and then they had separate greenhouses. They had one greenhouse that had nothing playing for the plants. They had the speaking nicely, recording playing over and over in one greenhouse, and they had the speaking harshly playing over and over in another greenhouse. Then they had classical music playing in another greenhouse, and then they had heavy metal, very heavy metal playing in another greenhouse. That particular experiment, it was really interesting because the best growing, producing plants wound up being in the extreme heavy metal greenhouse. and the worst plants were in the quiet greenhouse. Now, I have read many different things on why people believe that, you know, in these experiments, different outcomes happen. One experiment, or one suggestion, was that the CO2 that comes from our breath when we are speaking helps the plants grow. But in the case of the Mythbusters experiment, that is not really possible because they used recordings, so they didn't have anybody in there breathing on the plants. And they did that intentionally, from what I got from it. They did that intentionally because they wanted to eliminate that as a variable. And then I've also read, and I will show that here, that plants do not respond to the sound, they respond to the vibration. Now that got me kind of thinking about, you know, growing plants in urban areas versus rural areas, because if that theory was true, then it would be that plants in rural areas would grow better than plants in, or urban areas would grow better than plants in rural areas because of the noise pollution that is around constantly. I'm in a rural area, or urban area, get those mixed up. I am in an urban area. I'm in a city. I have cars and planes and lawnmowers and dogs, and there's constant noise all around. Now, I think my garden produces very well, but I kind of have a suspicion that if I was in a more rural area, that my plants would do better, you know. And part of that is because of, you know, not just the noise pollution going on, but the pollution going on in space and a better environment. And you don't really know what, you know, I feel like it's more probable that, you know, toxins are released in a urban area rather than a rural area, but I could be wrong on that. My thought when thinking all of this, when I very first decided to do this video, was that I've seen all different kinds of research done on this topic, and normally it involves like the way that Mythbusters did theirs, where, you know, they're speaking kindly, they're speaking negatively, they're playing different types of music. And, you know, if there is a difference between speaking kindly to your plants and speaking negatively to your plants, wouldn't that mean that we need to research the content of the music that's being played? Like, would plants develop better for love songs than they would sad songs? Or would they develop more for songs about, you know, dancing than they would about songs of death? So that is kind of my deep thought that I just wanted to stick with here on this particular video, because there's so much more that I found out and learned, and I would like to make those into whole new topics and bring those up. So what are your thoughts on, you know, playing music for your plants? Have you ever tried it? Do you feel like it works? Has playing different types of music helped or hurt your plants? You know, would different types of plants, like would the pepper plants be more into, you know, the love songs, whereas, you know, the herbs might be more into the blues? You know, are these different variables, are they anything that anyone has heard of being researched or tested? You know, it just really intrigues me. And the bottom line of all of this is I am really trying to figure out and learn if plants are sentient beings. And the more I research and the more I learn, the answer seems to be yes, that they do observe and they do react to the environment around them. And we also have learned that plants communicate with each other. And so it's very interesting to me, these different levels of understanding plants as a gardener that go beyond just learning what your plants need to survive and thrive in the three-dimensional reality of the world, I guess. I don't know any other way to put it. And then like how they survive and thrive as sentient beings, and what we can do to, you know, be more in tune with that and in balance with that, and create a more thriving garden that is beneficial not just to us but to our plants as well. If this is a topic that you enjoyed and that interests you as well, please give me a thumbs up. If you would like to see all of the other deep thoughts in the garden, be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments down below. Please, like, give me your thoughts on this. I want to hear. I want to know, what do you think? You know, is this, you know, something that you don't think that it's relevant at all as a gardener? Is this something that you are willing to try and see if it helps your plants? Just let me know. Let me know what's going on in your head up there in the brain matter part. What do you think? I would love to hear from you. Also, another question before I forget. My last Deep Thoughts video, I'm kind of learning different editing techniques, and I want to try and keep this interesting and the video moving for you so that you are not bored completely just staring at my face talking. So let me know, did you like that? I'll leave a link for that video here somewhere, and you can watch that. Let me know if you like that kind of editing. If you'd like to see more of something like that, if you prefer it just being me talking, if the editing is too distracting, I'd really like to know, because I want to make sure that, you know, you all are able to engage with this and let me know what you like and what works out good for you. So keep me posted. Please talk to me in the comments. Love your guts. Hope you all have a wonderful day.